Welcome to this licensing subcommittee hearing of the 8th of July. Few niceties first. There are no planned fire drills, I believe, and if alarm should go off, we just go out either door, you congregate in the car park, follow the officers. But just to let you know on that one. Another thing which is a formality which we must go through. We have to appoint a chair for this subcommittee, so I will just ask my colleagues if they.
Suppose you turn. I can have it second.
Yeah, fine, that's fine. Happy to do it. There's no apologies for absence, I believe. Declarations of interest, and that is just for officers and council members. No. Do we have any minutes of any subcommittees outstanding to be signed?
No, you actually need to agree, needs to authorise the chair to agree next and sign minutes after these minutes.
After of this meeting, yeah, okay, thank you very much. Right, there's a procedure which we have to follow. It may seem strange to you, but it's just formalities which we have to go through for this hearing here today. And the proposed format for the meeting, I will introduce ourselves. I'm Tony Lott. As you can see, I am chairing the meeting. On my left is Councillor Martin Lovell, and on my right is Councillor Andy Swanton. And you can see who the officers are. Their names are not up, but what their roles are on this committee. Okay. Right. Unless I'm stopped by the legal officer, I am ready to proceed with the procedure which we have to follow for the hearing. And I would like to invite the licensing officer to make her presentation. And if you make any representation to any pages, if there's not any numbers, just refer to the page as well, please, Rachel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This hearing is to consider an application to.
I hear you, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Is that any better?
No.
No. Is this, yeah, that's okay.
That's definitely better.
This hearing is to consider an application to vary a premises licence for the New Inn West Coker. The application seeks authorisation for the premises to open from 10:30 each morning, so that's Monday to Sunday, and the current opening time is 11:30. And the application also seeks authorisation to be able to open and sell alcohol between the hours of 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. as the current premises licence shows that they have to close between these times on Monday to Thursday. So on Friday, Saturday and Sunday, the premises can open from 11:30 all the way through till midnight. That's currently authorised and isn't part of the application. And the premises licence is shown in the I think appendix 2 to the in the report pack. So that's due to what they're currently authorised for.
Page number?
So I can't see it on my I've only got it as a separate attachment.
Unless any member's got, anybody's got any query, we're not having the page number. But it's something which should be stated by officers.
Probably my current license already.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah, sorry, it's on page 31, the current premises licenses.
Right. Yeah. That's right, as I said, right from the start, you know, refer to page numbers. So
Yeah.
some, maybe bear it in mind.
Of course, yeah, I apologise for that.
No, it's no problem, no problem. Sorry. Sorry, on Rachel.
We received one representation from a member of the public, and they commented on concerns to do with noise and disturbance from the premises during the increased opening times, as well as concerns that all day drinking could lead to antisocial behaviour. You'll also see that the representation mentions a structure in the gardens of the yard area, and they are concerned that this can be used for sale of alcohol. The applicant's been contacted about this and has confirmed that yes, there is going to be a structure, but this isn't going to currently be used for the sale of alcohol, but may do in the future. If the sale of alcohol is to take place on the structure, a variation application will be required to add this to the licence as a new structure being used for a licence for activity would be relevant to the licensing objectives, and the applicant has been informed of this. We also received information from the applicant in support of the application in the form of letters from local residents. This information has been provided to all parties involved in the hearing. We received a reply back from the person who submitted the representation, and they commented that they do not necessarily live close to the premises and consequently will not be affected by the noise or noise from the premises or outdoor bar or pizza oven. But as I've previously mentioned, the structure that they've referred to as being a bar or a pizza oven, that's not relevant to this application. And just to finally cover that we've also received confirmation and evidence that the applicant has complied with the advertising requirements for the application. Thank you.
All right. That's it, that's lovely. Now, before we move on, before I ask members to comment or ask any questions which they may have, it's my duty to ask you good folks, have you got any questions on what the officer has said? You'll get your opportunity to speak on your application in a minute, but have you got any questions for the licensing officer at this moment on what she's just said?
Okay. Can I put it in?
Yeah, just press it.
I'd just like to ask, we weren't given a copy, can you hear me okay? So we weren't given a copy of the response by the single complainant to receiving all of the letters of support, which hasn't allowed us to actually view the comment that those people who had supported us did not live local to the pub.
Okay, that was because it was received sort of separately after it had been published. It was just literally, just let me get this yeah, just to confirm the full comment was I'm not sure they are supporting this with the consideration that they are not necessarily one of the people that live next door, consequently will not be affected by the noise or new outside bar and pizza oven. So they were, just to explain, they were given a copy of the letters, but with their sort of names and addresses redacted, because obviously didn't have permission to kind of share that. But just to assure you that the versions with the full name, the addresses were given to others, so they are in receipt of that information as where they are in terms of the proximity to the premises and that kind of thing. Thank you.
That answer your query?
Yeah, that's, thank you. Did I say? Yes, thank you.
Anything? Is there anything else we good folks you'd like to ask with me?
No.
Right. Right, thanks for that. Right. My colleagues, either side of me, bearing in mind that we don't need to discuss the structure or what goes outside, that is not what is before us today. It's, that could be another issue later on, moving forward. Is there any questions that you need to ask at this moment on the, what the licensing officer has said at the moment, just on the licensing officer?
So like, is this one?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, just, legal officer action, just anything we need to know about the licensing. I mean,
No, there's nothing at the moment. That's.
thank you.
All right, Andy, did you say more?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. The only question I would have is the age of the property and how long it's actually been a zoning ordeal. On that.
I don't have, I don't think that's not working. Sorry. This licence that's being varied at the moment, that's been in place for since I think 2013, but certainly the premises did have licences before then. So I do believe that obviously with licensing, we only took over responsibilities for premises licensing in 2005, but I believe that it was a licensed premises prior to that point as well.
Thank you, Richard.
Okay, Andy?
Yeah.
That's fine. Well, I haven't got any questions that I need to ask, as I say, folks. Apart from that, the structure and everything else is not part of this application. That is a different ballgame altogether if it materialises. Right. I will now turn to the applicants to present their case for the their application.
Yes.
Oh,
If
hello.
you could, from our point of view, if you could just state your name, if you,
Yes,
if
of
you don't
course.
mind.
Yeah, my name is Kimberly Foster. I'm one of the directors and I'm actively involved in the running of the pub with Dean, my partner, and with Andy and all the huge team of us, including local volunteers as well, who have made this the reopening of the New Inn possible. It had been empty, unfortunately, sadly, through COVID. It was unfortunate timing with the people who took it over. They didn't get any grants. It stayed empty for a couple of years. It was liquidated. It came up for sale. Nobody wanted it except for redevelopment. And we have quite a similar business that we've worked on, which is also a small hotel. And I should say that it is a hotel as well. It's not just a coaching inn. It's a function room. It's a small pub and it has 6 hotel rooms as well. So we have a similar business that we run in Kew Gardens. And we thought if the bank would go with us, this is something that we could really do and do some good for our village where we live. And so we did that and we worked on it. We had a tenant in there first, and I'm afraid that didn't quite work really. So the tenant handed the keys back last year. And then we have worked on carefully getting it to the stage where it worked, but all elements of the village and the community. Some people have volunteered with their various skills on various elements. So that's how we come to be in the position that we are. We've known Andy and his family for many years. And Andy has an awful lot of experience as a licensee, and he has been managing for us for 7 months now. And we do it as a team, I would say. I think what we're asking for today, we would like parity, please. We would like you to consider our which we consider to be a reasonable application in line with the licence granted to the George, which is currently closed and cannot find a tenant. It will open soon because I understand they're going to put a manager in there. They will be able to be open all day, every day, and all night as well. They don't have any hotel guests at all. And also Lanes, which has a much wider licence, so much earlier in the morning and much later, and they do have hotel guests as well. So what we are asking for, for us to close Monday to Thursday between 3 until 6, it's quite disruptive to trade. It's disruptive to the staff that work there. I should say we employ 13 local people, and we want to be able to stay open. So people who finish work on the farms or mainly tradespeople, they can come and have a drink and socialise and then go home and have dinner. We have various different groups of people who use us. And the reason why we wanted the morning trade is simply because our hotel guests might like a Bloody Mary with their breakfast. And that was our sole intention of doing that. We wanted to be able to compete with places like the Lord Pullet, and we wanted to give, something a little bit nicer to the village where there's a place to go where you can have sort of like tea and cake as well in the morning. So it becomes more of a hub really and less of a pub. And we think we've done a really good job of that. And we'd like to continue to doing that. My concern is if we don't get this licence and the George get their tenant in there, which is owned by Palmer's, so the only thing we have going for us is that nobody likes Palmer's cider. So that would go in our favour. I think we are going to struggle, and I think at the moment, because we're the only pub, everyone assumes that we're doing well. We have to work really hard to pay those wages every week, don't we? Some weeks harder than others. We've taken on the staff who were made redundant from the green room in Yeovil, from the kitchen, so we were lucky to have that. So between all of our struggles, we think we've been able to create something really good, and we just like that, whether you accept or reject our application. And we like those are the sort of things we would like to be taken into consideration, I think. The end. I had no speech, sorry. It's me off the cuff, I've said it.
No, that's fine. Do your colleagues want to add anything?
Sorry.
Yeah, carry straight on, and then I can take if anyone's got any questions, they can address it to all of you then.
Just talking with direct look at the representation that's made against us, the concern of all day drinking. I was born in West Coker 36 years ago. I learned to drink when we had 9 pubs in the village, and that was back quite some time ago. We have the only current pub open, we've got the hotel behind us, and we've got the George shut. The all day drinking concern, I've never known West Coker to be a place of all day drinking. Mainly the people there don't have the time. There's 3 shifts of people who use the pub in my eyes. Got the people who turn up at midday for lunch. Then you get, I've seen in the George when that was open in the afternoons, you'd have the elder generation would stay on for their drinks, and then you get the people who finish work and come in for a drink on the way home. I've never been aware of people using any of the local establishments for all day beds as such. Even on weekends, people go home. West Coker is not a place like that. I'm yet to encounter problems with problem drinking. And like I say, I've been a landlord at 6 pubs in the area now over the last 15, 16 years.
Okay, that's lovely. Thanks for that. You, sir, have you got anything you want to add? I mean, the only question I would have asked, and you answered that, you said about tea and cake and things like that, and I presume you would do that in the afternoon if you had the opportunity to as well. Yeah, so no, that's fine. So that question was answered. Are there any other questions from my colleagues? Martin?
Sorry, you've mentioned various establishments. You just clarify to, okay, the George is there, but not open. Will be, would they be mentioned the third one as well?
Oh, sorry, yes, right behind us, we back onto Lanes Hotel, and they have lots more rooms than us. We only have 6. And we do support each other. We're constantly lending each other beer and the like. So they operate as almost like a hot pub, if you like, as well as being there for hotel guests who are allowed to drink for extended hours. And all the villagers genuinely try and support all the establishments. And they will, of course, when the George opens as well. And we would like the George to open as well. But we know when it does, the licence that you've given them will kill us off. And that's the point that we're here. I think the reason why we've asked for a variation as well, because But at 3 o'clock, people will say, 3 o'clock, hang on, okay, we'll go over to the George instead. We'll get known to the place that I don't think they're open between 3 and 6. Are they open between 3 and 6? So that is why we've asked for,
Yeah.
you know, not the same as them, but some parity would be nice.
All right. And
No, I'm quite satisfied.
I haven't got any more questions. I've listened to what has been said there. And I mean, there's no other parties here to ask if they want to ask questions or responsible authorities and everything else. So, I mean, all it remains for me to really do is to, and I don't think you will have anything further to add, but just if you wish to sum up and say anything.
I'm so sorry to draw back the evidence quickly. With the young, the complainant, said about the distance from, the establishment that our letters of support came from. They are all within, the furthest away is 25 metres, and I've walked it to make sure. So the 6 or 7 letters I have here in my hand are from people who will be able to hear if you've got that in some front of the pub. We made sure that, you know, people who were supporting us didn't have an axe to grind. You know, these people aren't there around the village. This isn't friends and family. This is people who use us and support us. And I do genuinely believe that what we're asking for will not cause the village any detriment.
Thanks for that. Thanks for that clarity, but I will say that can be sort of a part of your response to the application as well and to anything. So that can be added in by officers wherever they wish. I would just like now to ask the licensing officer, I mean, have you got anything you would like to say for summing up? Apart from what you've said from anything you may have heard today?
It would just be, just a reminder that the application is just to consider the change to the, hours the premises can open and that they can sell alcohol. Thank you.
That's fine. Thanks very much indeed. Right, is my, I would now like to request that everyone, if they wouldn't mind just leaving the room for a few minutes or however many minutes it takes for the committee to discuss your application. So I just wait for the door. Well, we haven't asked the legal officer at this moment in time now to write anything out because we have decided unanimously to grant your application. And she will draft our decision and any comments which she may want to put with it that we mentioned about when we've summed that. But as you can gather, that we didn't find it contentious at all. And just wish you good luck.
Thank you very much.
And you know, it's you never know, we might fall in there one afternoon when we're passing for tea and cake or anything like that.
Thank you very much for that, because it gives us a great opportunity and an equal footing now. So thank you very much. Appreciate it. We have to go by the wayside as they are, it's great to have some local support. Thank you very much.
I don't know how long the legal officer will take to send the response.
I'll try and get it out by the end of the week.
Which week? I thought he was going to say by the end of the day.
Don't think it'll be the end of the day. Unfortunately.
We're very happy, let's not push it.
No, okay then. We won't keep it any longer, but thanks very much for your time and good luck.
Thank you
very much.